it's Mr. Wegman. We're going to be talking today about rules for the orders of operation. Right now we're just focused on multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So we're talking about when we see a problem, when we see a problem that has more than one order of operation, in what order do we do those things? So here's the first rule for the order of operations. Multiply or divide. So the key word here is or. If you see a problem with multiplication or division, multiply or divide whichever comes first, moving from left to right, like you read a book. So if you see a problem that's got both a multiplication and a division problem, you do whichever problem comes first in that. So let's do an example. 3 times 10 divided by 2. Moving from left to right, sorry, forgot the 2. Moving from left to right, the multiplication problem comes first. So I want to talk for a second, too, about how we look at these problems. I think one thing that always confuses kids is when we look at a problem like this, we need to think about the operation and look at two numbers at a time. So we've got one problem in there, 3 times 10. And then if I go to the next operation, I've also got a 10 divided by 2. So when I'm thinking about the problem like this, I need to take the first one that happens, either the multiplication or division, whichever happens first. So the first thing that happens is 3 times 10. Now, it's really important to show your work when you're doing order of operations. So, I'm going to take this first problem, 3 times 10, and I'm going to draw a little down arrow, and I'm going to move my work down and then rewrite the whole problem. So, 3 times 10 is 30. Now I bring the rest of the problem down, divided by 2. Now, moving from left to right, the only thing that's left is a division problem. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Okay? Okay, so let's look at another one. What if I had an addition problem in there with it? 3 plus 4 times 2. Okay, again, I've got to look at these problems separately, so I've got to think, okay, so there's 3 plus 4. And then the other sort of mini problem in there is 4 times 2. Now my rule says that I multiply or divide whichever comes first. So I do that before I get to any addition or subtraction. So multiply or divide whichever comes first. Okay, so looking across, I see 4 times 2. I know 4 times 2 is 8. And then I bring the whole rest of the problem down. So 3 plus 8. Okay? Now that brings me to the second rule, which is after I've done all of my multiplication or division in a problem, then I'll look to the second rule. Then add or subtract whichever comes first, moving from left to right. So now that there's no more multiplication or division in here, I can go ahead and add. So 3 plus 8 gives me 11. Okay, so that's your basics of order of operations.